risk that you were thinking about? Were you surprised about what the outcome eventually became? And you also did something in 2019. You used that title as a setup for a punchline
Hmm.
during your 2019 championship, and you won that.
Yes.
That sequence of events, did you expect it? Was it surprising to you?
So the idea originally came from another Toastmaster, one of the first Toastmasters that I came across on YouTube by the name of Andy Dooley.
Yes.
Andy had a very long title in one of his humorous speech contests at the district level, and I believe he won that. And I thought to myself, wow, how cool is that you have this long title that generates this laugh before you even step on the stage. But not too many people would have been brave enough to do that in a contest setting because there are risks, or at least there are perceived risks when it comes to that. Will the judges accept that? Will the contest chair allow you to do it? So there was definitely a risk. And I did have some contingencies just in case that Balraj, who was the contest chair at the World Championship in 2016, I had a contingency just in case he said no. However, I gave Balraj my title, and he looked at it, and all he said was, okay. And that he went with it, and the reaction, I expected the reaction because a lot of Toastmasters had seen Andy Dooley, and they thought that no one was ever going to be brave enough to do that at the World Championship. So the fact that I did, and then my title just kept going on and on. My title was longer than Andy Dooley's. In fact, people were telling me, Aaron, maybe you should cut the word from 57 down to 20. And I thought to myself, no, because somebody can remember 20 words. But 57, only a crazy savant of words is going to be able to remember all of that title in the first time hearing it. So there was definitely a risk, but high risk, high reward. And then the 2019 quip, for me, that was more so of a turning of the page. I wanted to address, hey, yes, I am the guy that had the long title, but this isn't that speech. So I gave a quick reference to it, got a little bit of a laugh. I did expect a stronger laugh, so I did overestimate my 2006, the virality of my 2016 speech. But overall, it was just meant to be a quick piece of humor and also turn the page and allow me to dive in deeper on the new 2019 speech.
Wow, excellent. Did you try that with an audience for sure to know that it was going to get you a laugh?
I tried it a couple times with a couple of audiences, and it got a good enough reaction for me to say, okay, I think this will work on a larger stage. Like I said before, I had spoken to Toastmaster audiences so much that I had a good idea of what they would find humorous and what they wouldn't. Now, the thing that I did overlook was that when I was practicing those speeches or giving that speech and practicing the quip, I was practicing it in front of my home district. So I had two home districts at the time. I was competing for District 18, and where I live in District 38, I was giving speeches to those audiences who knew me and knew my speech and knew the title, knew the whole history about it. But going to the convention, not as many people knew me. There were some people who were coming to the convention and they were probably just new Toastmasters. They really hadn't experienced a world championship of public speaking, and especially one from 3 years prior. So that was something that I did overlook.
Good, good. Thank you so much. So there's a response that led to a question here.
Mm-hmm.
Seed is saying, did the world champion of public speaking start limiting the length of the speech based on what you did? Because somebody can come next year and say they're going to give 100 and see if it's going to get. So what do you think about that?
No, I was fully expecting the Aaron Beverly rule to be created after 2016. I wanted it to be a limit to the title, that it could only be a certain number of words, and that would have been great. I would have been immortalized in the Toastmasters contest book, but it never came. I think the leadership in Toastmasters, they must think that no one is going to be brave enough to do that again after Aaron did it. However, they may be surprised one day. Somebody may break out that 100-word title. And then I think there will be a rule.
You know what? If that happens, I think some people gonna stand up from the audience and just go to their room and come back. Like I can't really listen to this. What's going on here? But I'm looking forward to a situation whereby they address it, and let's see if somebody's gonna come up with a speech with a longer title. And I'm looking forward to see what the response will look like.
Yeah. Or it may be the extreme where somebody may only have one-word title. Actually, I think there has been a few one-word titles. Ouch, for instance, is a one-word title, but maybe one day somebody comes up and the title is
just empty. So now that you're here, I know you're very skilled. That's why we're all here to listen to you. But generally, if you have a mentee, what would you advise the person about title of a speech?
I would say that the title comes last. To not put so much pressure on yourself to come up with a great title. Yes, the title is the first introduction to the speech, but at the same time, I believe that the true content of your speech is what should shine the most. And in fact, one of the reasons why I wanted to give a long title for my speech was because I was tired of people saying that your speech title has to be short and concise and memorable. And I would always hear that. But my thought process was they're not supposed to just remember the title. They're supposed to remember the content of the speech. So I decided, okay, I will make a title that is not going to be easily memorizable. And I did that. Nobody remembers the exact speech title. Very few people remember the exact speech title. But a lot of people know about the title and how it made them feel.